Muspelheim. But it's still possible. 1-4 on the other end. You're going to have to fear about actually staying in the league.
Yeah, if he goes 1-4, it's a bad day. Now, Muspelheim, interestingly, Kevin, this could be the last week we see Muspelheim.
That is correct. Midway through the season, guys, we send out an email to all the players in the NASL, and we let them choose, and we basically say, hey guys, is there a map you really want to get rid of? And if so, which map would you really like to see in return? As we always say, Ben, NASL is all about the players. We prefer to let them to make the decisions regarding map pools and stuff. We just want to give them the best map pool possible, and as long as the options are reasonable, so they suggest maps like Crevasse, we are all happy with that. And yeah, most players, man, they said that they would like to get rid of Muspelheim.
Yeah, so if we do say goodbye to Muspelheim, I think it's pretty likely that we'll be seeing Abyssal City added to the NASL map pool. We'll keep you all posted as to exactly what decision gets made in that regard as we move forward.
Which definitely excites me because I'm quite a fan of Abyssal City. I think it's an awesome map. Might just be because obviously we see it a lot in the GSL, and all the games in GSL are at least very often freaking awesome. And then you have Tastosis commentating, and then, you know, I think Tastosis are to blame for some of the good maps, for some of the bad maps that we started playing worldwide, because they make them sound so good. And at the end of the day, you realize, like, hey, if Tastosis is not commentating, and it's not Nesty versus Elfitaya, this map is not all that good, man.
You know, the first game of StarCraft that I can remember watching was Artosis playing on Kulos Ravine.
Okay.
And I was watching him use Overlords to drop creep on the high ground behind his natural expand and then walk spine crawlers up there, and I was so impressed. I was like, man, this guy is the best StarCraft player I've ever watched. And then he got invited to Season 1 of the NASL and lost every single game except for the one he played against Grubby.
Yeah, I remember that, the PvP series.
The pillow fight for the bottom of the league.
I remember that. Those were crazy times. Of course, Artosis participated back then at the Intel Extreme Masters Global Challenge in Cologne as well. And Artosis actually defeated Hawk by building a... I think... no, or was it the other way around? Was it Hawk who built a pylon in the main base of Metropolis? I think Artosis won the series 2-1 over Hawk. This is a very long time, guys, so correct me if I'm mistaken. But I think Artosis won that series 2-1 over Hawk, which made Hawk eliminated from the tournament, and the two other guys in the group advanced, as both Artosis and Hawk dropped out, and all the Europeans were joking. It's like, new RTS, same results. The North Americans are still losing. Because in Warcraft 3, the North Americans were not all that great. There were a few who were awesome. Shout out to Short Round, shout out to Nilknar, shout out to Wizard.
Shout out to Select.
Yeah, definitely.
But we can only halfway claim Select. Because at that time he was playing in Korea.
Yeah, and after all, the World Cyber Games, he always represented Korea as well. Otherwise, you guys would have actually won some medals. One base ban from both sides so far.
We win all the Madden medals.
The Madden?
Yeah.
Madden and Halo.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see some Blink Stalker play out of Bischu this time, Ben. Twilight Council is in production, 2 more gates. Unless we are going to see Dark Templar action, but...
wouldn't surprise me coming from Bischu.
Dark Templars?
Yes.
He's sending out a probe right now. He's getting a sentry as well, so... I don't know. It's going to be Dark Templars or Blink. I think it's going to be DTs, man.
I think...
no. Okay, it's going to be the Blink.
Okay,
so always stick with your first guess, guys. Same goes for the casino. If you think it's of a number, just bet on it, man. That's what I always do. That's why I always lose.
I would, as a serious...
I have too many first feelings.
As a serious advisor to people with gambling problems like myself, I would recommend that you just avoid the betting, maybe, because bad things happen.
No, that might be the smartest advice I've ever heard, man. If you have a betting problem, you might want to stop betting. No, you wouldn't. Oh my god. I think you just broke the meta game of addiction all around the world, man.
How would you do in Vegas again, Kev?
Pretty damn well. At least the first night. 3 Hellions are in this meta wagon, about to make their way to the top side of the map. If Bischu's
gonna... Observer, Blink. Blink arms.
Yeah. This is
Bischu really putting the Bischu spin on it.
Yeah, it's like Bischu really wouldn't change that much if you.
And ironically, instead of rallying his Banshee across the map, Thorzain's rallying his Banshee to his ramp, where he will not spot this Robo.
Well, Thorzain is probably quite afraid because he knows he's playing against Bischu. What I don't get, Ben, is that he's still only having one bunker. He doesn't have a bunker on the high ground. I think the moment he would spot that there is no natural expansion, he's going to build another bunker because he has to worry. These Marines, Ben, they're so exposed. Even though the siege tank is going to help out a lot. Here come the alien drop, and Bischu's base is so exposed. No stalkers over here. This has to be a GG drop.
Yeah, I mean, Bischu's going to obviously make one attempt at doing something with the units he has.
Yeah.
No, he's going to go back and defend. That's
okay. That's
probably a wrong choice, honestly.
Because now he also revealed the fact that he has Blink. Thorzain immediately starts researching Siege. Thorzain still did not lose a single Hellion, by the way. Almost lost them all at the same time there. But does manage to get away, so this forces Bischu to keep stalkers in his main base. Well, Ben, I think this is pretty much game over.
Looks like it. That's almost game-ending damage. There are still 11 probes. Oh, but man, Thorzain getting bunkers in his main base. Man, he's so prepared.
Yeah, it's so smart. When you know you're playing against the one-base Protoss, those Marines are still a little bit exposed over here, and you don't want to just have those Marines fight in the wild open. So having this one bunker to fall back on, it's going to keep everything alive a little bit longer. It's going to make your life easier. And as soon as those siege tanks are ready, this Blink Stalker aggression is over, Ben.
And Bischu's like, wait a second. This is not how I had this planned out in my head.
And now Thorzain is shaking his head, and he's like, did I really lose game number 1?
To Bischu.
31 SCVs on the map for Thorzain, 14 workers for Bischu. Bischu, of course, I do love his aggressive strats, man. I always think it's fun to watch, but I do think he should switch it up every now and then, because the moment you get too predictable, if you play strategies like this, it's going to be very hard to pull it off. What he showed us on Whirlwind, I think, well, it was awesome. It's risky, but it was awesome. I enjoyed it. But yeah, one-base play like this, it's hard to make that work against a player like Thorzain.
And you know, Thorzain's play was maybe twice as risky as Bischu's, going for that fast third base. Yeah, like he did. So I mean, had he just been on 2-base, had he been playing a more defensive style, I think this series could have been a 2-0.
That's true. 2 more medevacs, a few more bio units. Could have been all different. But Bischu was aggressive on the right moment. Bischu right now, man, is getting a Templar Archive. I think that's awesome. He's on 19 probes and he's getting a Templar Archive of 1 base.
When the all-in fails, just all-in more.
Man, this is so awesome. Like, I don't... Why do you think he's getting Templar Archives right now? Because Storm is not that great against siege tanks.
Like, if you look at guys like Bischu and Elfie, and you try to equate their play style to people like us with gambling problems, they're the guys that go all in and lose, and then they're like, okay, well, I guess I'm just going to have to bet my house.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it basically boils down to. Lost $100 this night. That's okay. I got a lease car.
It's okay. Still have my car keys.
Yeah, I got a rental. I'm eventually going to have to get the rental back anyways. Bischu is still dartling around with these Blink Stalkers, but Ben, it's quite sad to see, but these Blink Stalkers will not be able to do absolutely anything, because of course siege tanks are awesome against Blink Stalkers, certainly in these low numbers. And without any upgrades. Storm is being researched. You know, Ben, I want to make a ridiculous bet if Bischu wins this game.
I would take that bet. I would give you whatever odds you want. He does not win this game. There's no way.
I know. Just try. Hey, the Daybreak game was really exciting.
The only way it happens is if Thorzain misrallies his Raven somewhere, Bischu makes DTs, kills everything. Command centers lift, DTs stand underneath him, so they can't land
he can
again.
just feedback the Raven, but that's I think we might find a hole. Oops. Stalker takes a lot of damage from these siege tanks. After this, guys, if you've been watching us, awesome. Just tune in. We got a few more games coming up for you. After this, it's going to be Rion versus Wangzin. If you guys think, hey, didn't we see Rion already today? Yes, but that was a makeup game today against Wangzin. That's going to be his actual game. Same goes for Thorzain, who played in the previous series. After that, Ben, is going to be the NASL Classic MC versus Chef. And we're going to close the night out with Teja versus Vibe. So a super long night with a lot of StarCraft action. So far, a lot of fun as well. Well, Ben, Bischu went for the 13-minute expand after getting Blink and High Templar.
Standard?
Yeah, and Storm.
Super standard.
I would love to make a Protoss tutorial out of this build.
Man.
He's getting a Warp Prism. We might see some Storm drops. Army supply right now is 71 against 34.
Maybe with the best Storms ever casted. Have you,
Grubby versus Star Eagle Storms.
Have you seen the replay from Brood War, the Jangvi Storms?
On those tanks?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've seen that actually. Even though I'm a complete Brood War newbie, I have not seen a lot at all. I think I have seen those.
If Bischu can storm like that, then maybe he can come
but
back.
didn't Bischu make some legendary storms as well on YouTube?
I mean,
sure,
Bishu's done everything in a legendary way, but I think the Jangbi storms are the most legendary storms I ever played or ever casted.
Well, let's see if the Bischu storm is going to be the second most legendary storm.
Not so much.
Almost got an SCV.
Not so much.
Thorzain, of course, reacted. Oh, that's a nice storm, though. At least it had a lot of potential. But I do not think that Bischu killed a single worker yet. Nope. But it's all over but the crying, man. 52 SCVs against 32 probes. I'm glad that I shared the story of your dad.
I'm glad that Morgan wasn't in the room when he did.
It's the second favorite story of all time. My favorite MrBitter story of all time, when I wasn't there, includes also his dad, and that is Ben. Like, I really respect Ben for when he thinks something is wrong, he stands up for it, and that's something I really appreciate out of him. And if he thinks something is wrong, he speaks his mind and he lets him know. Even when he works for his dad, and his dad is the owner of the company, and his dad fired a guy, Ben said, "Dad, I think that's wrong." And Ben's dad, "Yeah, you think that's wrong?" Ben said, "Yeah, I think that's wrong." Then his dad said, "Okay, you're fired." And then Ben got fired by his dad. I think that's so sad, man. I really can't get my head around it, that he actually fired you in front of the entire office.
Yep.
Hey, but it was the start of your esports career.
It was. If that had not happened to me, I would have never gotten involved in esports. You're exactly right.
So that also shows that you should always do what you believe in. In that case, you stood up for something that you thought was unfair or there was injustice.
And the other guy got his stuff was worked out. He got exactly what I said he should have gotten.
Big storms going down right now. Sorry to interrupt you, man, but big storms going down on the natural. So for the first time, Bischu is actually dealing some serious damage.
He's doing Warp Prism drops at both sides, man.
Yeah.
He's dropping the natural and the main.
This is the Bischu storm after all. Suddenly, he's only 6 workers behind. Oh, sorry, I completely missed the Hellion drop.
But Kevin, he's way behind in army supply.
He killed 5 more pros with the Hellion drop while I was talking about MrBitter's dad. Because this game, man, did he never see that robot draw? No, he's never seen that robot. This is a genius proxy by Bischu.
One thing we can't take away from Bischu is his preparation for these games.
Bischu is definitely a never give up, never surrender guy. And that's the type of stuff that we love in the NASL. In this case, though, he does have 4 probes on this simulator as well. He's going to go for a warp in over here, man. He's going to warp in 3 charge loads, but there are 2 ghosts, so he might be able to feed back a ghost. EMP hits one of the zealots.
Snipe even being used there. Here comes the big push. And the Bishu's natural first storm is a complete whiff.
4 other turrets are going to go down as well. Ghosts are in the front. Tanks are going to siege up. This is just an impossible battle for Bischu. He's going to come in. Storms, man. Warp Prism. Storm. No. No. Did you see it?
Oh. I blinked and I missed it.
In the blink of an eye.
In the blink of an eye, a Warp Prism flew into some Marines.
Well, actually it was idling there for a good 3 seconds. Let's just pretend it was in the blink of an eye. Feedback goes down. I think it took out a medevac. More EMPs. Beautiful EMPs right there by Thorzain and Ben.
The last stand of the valiant Bischu.
Oh, that's a massive storm. Wow, that was a storm that if you had 3 of those, then we had a game, ladies and gentlemen.
GG gets called. Thorzain evens up the series. The score's now 1-1. We're going to go on to Entombed Valley next. Kevin, do you have any just super high-level analysis of that last game?
I think the positioning by Thorzain in that final fight was super important. So well done with the EMP, sieging up the tanks in the right moment, immediately sniped that Warp Prism. I loved everything about that game.
Just one of the many reasons why we watch this beautiful game called StarCraft 2. Azo monitors responsible for that last bit of gameplay. Azo.com, where you can pick up your own bright, brilliant, and fast production or gaming monitor. Check them out today. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.